Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. One of my goals this year is to get at least 100 subscribers by the end of 2020, and that'd be amazing if you support me in that efforts. Now, in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to implement Google Ads conversions onto your HTML website. Now, if you're on WordPress or if you're on any other CMS platform, this might not be relevant to you because there's going to be a lot more mingling with the templates. So I highly recommend just going to the extensions or the plugins marketplace and seeing if there is something that already exists for Google Ads. For myself, my scenario is a little bit different, so just to give you some context of what we're going to do, and we're going to do this on my actual website, we're going to track the conversions of my miniature Google Ads campaign on my little side Fitbit project here. And anytime someone lands on my Google Ads campaign, I'm going to track when they click on these to view them, which gets sent over to the marketplace for Fitbit, and I'm going to just track and see how many of those people actually go to those different watch faces based on that ad campaign. And I will also be adjusting the conversion number, so based on the clicks, different values that are associated for each page view or each time someone clicks it. Now in my case, it's honestly a little bit different from most people because I'm kind of assuming that someone is going to be buying it, but the reality is about 4 to 5% of someone actually purchases, applications that they click on. So it's very, very unlikely in my case. But you can also use these conversion tracking to do things like tracking when someone hits the sign up button or when someone tends to view something that you are more particularly trying to focus your conversions on. So going back to Google Ads, I'm by no means an expert on Google Ads. I literally just spoke to my ad strategist and she recommended that I use conversions as a form of a metric to determine if I'm getting a lot of value out of my Google Ads campaign. And I'm just a person who likes to experiment and learn different types of things and see what kind of value is added to my side projects. So with that being said, hop onto your Google Ads dashboard and you're going to hit this tools and settings, and you're going to see this conversion measurement column. Once you land on this page here, you're going to hit that plus sign and you're going to create a new conversion. In my case, I'm creating a website conversion, so I'm going to click on this website link. And this is going to be only relevant to this type of conversion tracking. So if you're on any other type of things that you're trying to track, like on an app or anything, you probably cannot follow this tutorial. It's just not going to work. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to select the action you'd like to track. So for myself, it's a little bit odd, but I'm going to actually probably choose page view. I can honestly use sign up as well, but page view just seems to be a little bit more accurate to what I'm trying to accomplish. And I believe this just is how it gets generated in the report when you see, just the measurements of how things are going. I don't necessarily think it has an impact actually on the conversion tracking, like on the actual campaign itself. So I wouldn't necessarily put so much emphasis on it. It's probably more important for somebody who has a ton of different campaigns and just they want to compare against different types of campaigns. So now the name of the conversion, obviously you should put something that's a little bit relevant to yourself. I am going to put this as a Fitbit product view. Or Fitbit watch face product view or product, or view. Actually, I'll do view Fitbit watch face product. So, let's just keep it simple. View Fitbit. Let's just keep it simple. View product. Okay. Now the next thing is, this is where it's a little bit different for some people. Like I mentioned earlier, if you saw on my website, I have different price points for different products. So I'm going to use different value for each conversion. Now you can enter a default value if you just, for example, if something you just miss something or whatever, this would just be that value that gets used, of course. In my case, I'm just going to skip that and I'm just going to not put that on there. The next thing is I'm going to set this as every count, and this is just a recommendation that Google provides. I'm sure there are other reasons why you might want to do, a one-click count, and that's something for you to choose, and you can learn more over on here. And I'm just going to keep these settings the same, and I'm just going to hit create and continue. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to hit this install the tag yourself, and I'm going to select this Google site. It has a another Google Analytics product that is already using the Google Tags Manager. So to give some explanation here, If you've not been using Google Analytics previously, then you probably want to stick with the Google site tags installed on your HTML page. But if you have been using Google Analytics, then you want to click on this button here. The only difference is you're just going to copy and paste this big chunk of stuff onto your website, opposed to updating this particular execution of a method onto your script tag. So I'm going to copy what's relevant to me. So I'm just going to copy this over here, and I'm going to go over to my HTML page, which I have open on Visual Studio Code. And I'm all the way in the bottom of my index file here. And you can see here that I already have a Google Analytics script tag that already exists. And this is just like the script that's executing and pushing data over to Google Analytics. Now, the thing that I need to do now is I want to add this G tag. Oh man, I want to add this G tag over to this underneath this G tag call here. So I'm going to copy and paste that here. I'm going to put it here. I'm going to save that. I'm going to hop back onto this Google Ads, and I'm going to scroll down to this event snippet here. And you have different options on how you want to implement this. If you're someone who just cares when someone lands on your page and that you count that as conversion, you can go ahead and do page load. In my case, I'm looking for when someone clicks on my page. So I'm going to copy and paste this little code snippet here. I'm going to go down to the bottom here, and I'm just going to paste it right here under here like that. There we go. And perfect. So I'm going to save this, and the thing is, we're going to update a couple little things onto this function parameter here, and this is going to allow us to adjust the values based on different price points. So the first thing I'm going to do is, let's zoom in here, is I'm going to do price here as a second parameter in this method. And over here where there's this little G tag where it's sending over a bit of data, my value is not $1, it's just going to be price. So that's great. And honestly, if it's probably good to include a default value, and I'm just going to put 1 here. So if for some reason I forget to put a price on when I call this function, it's just going to default to $1. And we're done on that aspect here. And if you go back to the Google conversion page, you're going to see that you've set up your view product conversion action, but you're not necessarily done yet. What we need to do is we actually need to implement the tracking clicks on each individual link. I'm going to show you how to do that per each with a couple of different examples here. So the first thing we want to do is we want to copy this method here, so gtag report conversion, and we're going to find associated links that are relevant to what we're tracking. So for example, I want to track this bundle link that I have here, which is shown as this A tag here that has a content of purchase. And what I want to do is I'm going to execute this call, and it's going to track it on Google, and it's going to redirect them to the site. So to do this, we're going to add that on-click attribute, and we're going to copy and paste that G tag report conversion, and we're going to populate it with the URL that was there before, which is in the href here. So I'm going to copy and paste this here. Cool. And so I'm going to actually use just single quotations, and then I'm going to put the value here. In this case, it's $8.99, and I'm going to close that off, and I can remove this href tag. And if you see here, let me zoom out here, this is the full call, execution call here, and it says gtag report conversion, and I'm going to the site here, and the value is $8.99. Okay, so let's do another example here. On my page, if you remember, I have a couple of different sites or a couple different apps that exist, and what happens is they click on the image, and the image will redirect them to the actual location here. So this is one product itself called Less, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do on click. I'm going to do that double quotes. I'm going to do G tag report conversion, and I'm going to copy this here, and I am going to put it as my first parameter as the URL, and then I'm going to set the price, which is $149, and I'm going to close this off here. So let's get rid of this here, clean it up, and that looks good here. Great. So now what you want to do is you definitely want to test this locally or test it somewhere else before you just launch it. So I already have a little instance spin up here so I can test it locally. If you don't have this, you don't have to worry about it. There are probably ways that you can test it that you already have that exist, but I'm just going to make sure that it fully works. So let's test that out here. So I updated this bundle link down here on the purchase here. So I'm going to make sure if I hit purchase, it sends me over to the right page. So let's see if it works. Okay, perfect. Looks like it works. It looks like it actually might have failed here. It looks like this site is just down, is unable to establish. Looks like the site is just down for some reason. So that looks like it's working. Let me try one more time on one watch face here. So this actually should link over. So let's click it. Perfect. So it went through and that's working perfectly. So those have been sent over to Google and it's been measured. So now we're done with that, and from here you just have to update every individual one that you want to track, but I'm not going to show you all that because that'll just take forever, and that is all you truly need to really implement Google Ads conversions onto your site. If you have any other questions, please contact me. I'll try my best to answer your questions, and keep on building and keep on being awesome. Take care, guys.